strategist, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Legislative Affairs. Welcome back, as always. So I guess Democrats are now going to have to figure out that whole Putin puppet thing not being true anymore.
Well, I should say he should do it. Let's do it. Let's go for the sanctions right now. Look, you know, Putin puppet, Putin's lawyer also is the big concern. But look, I applaud President Trump for trying to get a deal. I'm going to say it flat out. If he can find a way to stop this war, that is a win for the United States. And of course, it's a win for Ukraine and Russia. But what he's doing and what he has been doing over the last couple of weeks is setting himself up for failure. He has taken away Ukraine's ability to defend itself. We saw that this week where intelligence sharing is down and Russia took advantage. His instincts today are right. Punish Putin. Go for it. Put him on the defensive. Don't make Putin think that he has the advantage right now.
What I thought was interesting about this tweet, large-scale banking sanctions were something that Joe Biden never even considered, which would have brought this war to an end a lot quicker. When he says tariffs, I'm thinking that he's talking about oil, which Joe Biden would never go after Russia's energy sector. Putin on the defense is probably a good thing, isn't it?
Putin on the defense is a very important thing. He's not on the defense yet. I think one of the things we have to expect and accept is that with Donald Trump, anything can change at a moment's notice, right? It could be a 3 a.m. tweet for all we know.
We've seen that happen before.
It's known to occur. Look, if Putin needs to be on the defensive right now, I think in a way the rebalancing that we've seen the president try to do by pulling back on Ukraine, he's gone a little bit too far. This week, it's very dangerous to pull away intelligence cooperation with a country who you're an ally with in the middle of a war. And the results are dangerous and harmful to the Ukrainian people. So they're going to meet next week in Riyadh. They're going to meet in Saudi Arabia. It's a meeting that's going to move things forward.
And I say this as a host of a nightly cable news show. Would the huge deals, would the Camp David Accords, would the major peace deals of our time have ever gotten done if they were reported on the way we nitpick cable, nightly or even hourly, the back and forth of diplomacy? I'm trying to figure out a fair grading standard.
The extraordinary drama that we saw last week, I'm sure happened in spades at Camp David, but there were no cameras, there were no social media. Those negotiations, I'm glad you brought it up, that was about 18 months worth of work. 18 months. And it was a very strong American leader at the time. Jimmy Carter leaned in hard, and he provided gifts to Egypt and to Israel, multi-billion-dollar aid programs that continue to this day that have guaranteed the peace. It's going to require that from Donald Trump. Look, the president is going to have to go in, and if he's going to fix this, he's going to have to go in hard but fair. And that's the concern right now, is that the Ukrainians are being put in a position where they're taking incoming missiles and nothing is being done about it against Russia. That balancing matters in these negotiations.
The other place that Donald Trump had a lot of success during his first term was in the Middle East, in putting Iran in its corner. I know you, even though as a Democrat, you've admitted that many times, the success in that and rebalancing the Middle East. Today, he said he sent a letter to the Ayatollah. Take a listen.
I've written him a letter saying, I hope you're going to negotiate, because if we have to go in militarily, it's going to be a terrible thing for them.
You wrote a letter to the Khomeini?
Yes.
When did you send the letter?
Yesterday.
And you said you better negotiate, or we want you to negotiate?
I didn't say you better. I said I hope you're going to negotiate, because it's going to be a lot better for Iran. And I think they want to get that letter. The other alternative is we have to do something, because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon.
That's the most Sherman-esque statement I've heard from an American president.
Look, Iran is in an incredibly weak position right now, and they would be smart to take this offer. They would be smart to respond rather than turn away. Look, Donald Trump, he is not the Donald Trump of 2018 when he walked away from a good nuclear deal that was working and holding Iran's nuclear program in check. But if he goes forward on this, he's going to find a lot of interest around the world in a nuclear deal.
He's probably going to find a lot of interest also around the Gulf of taking on Iran.
Look, nobody wants Iran to get a nuclear weapon. And I think this has been the biggest challenge for decades now. Bomb, no bomb, diplomacy, no diplomacy.
Trump's negotiating style, though, is, I think, though, the world is now responding in different ways to it.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
the world's responding in very different ways to Donald Trump right now. In
better ways, I would say, than Joe Biden.
I think what they're seeing. I'm gonna say it quite bluntly. They see an active American president right now doing things. Doesn't mean they like everything he's doing, but they see him doing things, and this sort of aggressive engagement, it shakes up the status quo, the thinking, nervous thinking.
And it shakes up cable news shows.
Thanks, Lee.
Good to see you, my friend.
Appreciate
Thank you
it
very
always.
much. First.